Hi, my name is Atharva. I am an undergraduate student at University of California, Los Angeles, and I'm currently taking physics. And I'm here to answer a question from Chloe, who asks, how do I apply to international schools with different required courses? Now, this is a great question for me because I apply to, America and Europe and all those different places just for fun. And I'm here now in America, I guess. But generally speaking, I think the best thing you can do is, before I say anything, is just always ask questions. Always ask. You can ask the registrar, or there's usually an application hotline that all these universities have, and there you can ask them questions about what they're looking for in those applications. So sometimes, you want to go apply to an University of America. You go and you call them up and you ask them, okay, look, I don't take these courses. I don't know what to do here, and blah 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 blah. And sometimes they'll even be nice enough to actually go into your account, into your portal, and adjust some things around for you, and maybe even make a little note that says, yeah, this student isn't actually from here around here. He's from Canada, so just make sure you do everything for him as if he's from Canada and from this province. Usually, Canada's pretty good with that because we actually send a lot of international students elsewhere. So most places that take a lot of Canadian students in always expect to take Canadian students, and always expect that Canadian students will apply. And for those reasons, they always have some kind of leverage and some kind of leeway for Canadian students to input their grades in. And then put their courses in and whatnot. So yeah, your Canadian courses should work just fine. And you can just put them in. If, for example, they don't go in and there's no exact way for you to fit them in, obviously call them first. But the other thing you can do is, if they don't actually answer your question, then you can go ahead and find the closest analog. That's what most of the people that I called told me to do. So, for example, in America, Algebra 2 and Algebra 1 and all those different things, I would take a look at the curriculum and the syllabus and see, okay, this is the course that best matches that. And so that's the one I'm going to write down, and that's the grade I'm going to write down here. And that usually worked just fine for me. And that's exactly what the people that said on the other side of the phone call, they said that would work just fine. And so that's what I did. Always look for the closest analog, and if you can't find one, then there's usually an option for other courses, because they know students are applying from like other weird places, and so like places that aren't don't have a standardized system of education like Canada, and so they always expect all those different things, and so don't worry about it. You'll be just fine. In terms of courses, perhaps that like you have to take like A levels in Europe, or IB courses or whatever in Europe as well, in England and places like that, I wouldn't worry about it. I would say that the university usually admits students holistically, and just because you haven't taken this exact course, if you've taken something like that's analogous to it, you should be just fine. Obviously, I mean, if you haven't taken anything analogous to it, they have no reason to admit you. So you make sure you always look up those requirements. So you have to take a math course, obviously, if you're taking physics like me. If you're taking biology, you have to take a biology course at some point. If you're taking political science, you probably want to have taken a social studies or a history course or a civics course. Make sure you take a look at all those requirements for those different universities, and look for the closest analogs that you have at your school, and try to take the required courses. If you can't take the required courses, make sure you always call, and that's pretty much it. Just, yeah, like I said, always call the university to ask if you have any questions, but if not, look for the closest analog. Thanks for watching.